Hi everyone, Jody with the Ring Lord here. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of our Beginner Weave series. This is Half Persian 4-in-1. You can see on the work surface I have two different versions or materials. This is all copper, and these are 16 gauge SWG, that's 1.6 millimeter wire diameter. And the rings are 5/16 of an inch internal diameter. It's an aspect ratio of about 5.2. The top one is anodized aluminum. This is our shiny finish in orange and pink. Same sizes. There's a graphic at the beginning of this video that has all of the ring sizes that I've tested for round wire, and there is a separate graphic that I've also included for square wire rings. The lists I give are not all inclusive, so there are other ring sizes that can be used for Half Persian 4-in-1. These are just the ones that I prefer. The ideal aspect ratio according to male artisans is 5.1. The minimum aspect ratio is 4.4. So as you can see, it's got a bit of a range. The lower you go, the tighter it'll be. The higher you go, the looser it will be. So take a look at the graphics and decide which ring size you want to use. I've also given the estimated rings per inch. So let's get started. You will need a twist tie or a paper clip or some piece of wire or something to start this weave. Half Persian 4-in-1 is probably one of the harder ones to start, but is a pretty easy weave after you have gotten it started. So I just took a paper clip and sort of straightened it out, and now I'm going to get my rings. So I've pre-closed some rings and I've opened a few rings as well. I will be using the same size rings as I showed the pieces in, so 16 gauge 5/16, and I'll be using our saw cut matte anodized aluminum. So I'm also going to be using 4 different colors for one side of it, and then my open rings will all be the titanium gray. So I'm just going to load on 4 closed rings. Actually, I'm going to do it the opposite way. 4 closed rings onto my piece of wire. So just like that. And I'm just going to bend the wire and give it a little twist. So it's like that. So in this weave, our colored rings are going to form sort of a staircase or steps, and they are going up to the left. Our other rings, the more, can't call them vertical. This weave has, let me show you. On both sides has a definitive X pattern. It's not like Half Persian 3-in-1 where one side has sort of that X and the other side doesn't. This has it on both sides. So the rings do stack. If you loosen it, you can kind of see that one stacks one way and then one stacks another way. So we are going to start with our rings stacking up to the left. Now what I'm going to do is take one of my open rings and I'm going to put it through the first 2, scoop around, and put it through the second 2. And close the ring. So it should look like that. So your rings are still stacked. pink, light purple, violet, dark purple. Now I'm going to take an open ring and I'm going to grab the next ring in the series. So it would be a dark purple ring. So I have a closed dark purple ring on my open gray ring. I'm going up through the pink ring and down and around into the eye formed by the violet ring and the light purple ring. And it stacks on top of the other gray ring. So we've got it going up through this pink ring and down through the eye formed by the light purple and violet. So I'm going to take it out and I'm going to do it again. So the eye of the light purple and violet. And again, it stacks on top of the previous gray ring. So I'm going to close that. So it should look like this now. So now we're going to take another open ring, and our next ring in the series is going to be violet. So I'm taking a violet closed ring on an open gray ring, and we're going to do the same thing as we just did. Now notice that the ring we added before stacks behind the last ring, and that's correct. If it stacks in front of it, you're doing it wrong. You've got it reversed. So I'm going to come up through that ring we just added, and you can see there's an eye formed at the intersection of these two rings. I'm going around that eye and through the eye formed by the next two rings, which is the pink and light purple. So up through the dark purple, down and around, through the eye, and above the previous gray ring. So if I show you it like this, you can see the X pattern. And if you turn it around to the other side, same deal. Okay, so this violet ring is the one we just added. So I'm going to take an open gray ring, and I'm going to put on a light purple ring that's closed. And we are going up through the violet ring, around the eye formed by the violet and dark purple, and down through the eye formed by the dark purple and pink, and above the gray ring prior. At this point, if you want to take off that piece of wire, you can. It's not going to hurt anything. That's what it should look like. Let's see if I can get even closer in and give you a closer peek. So we're going to do the fourth ring in the series, which is the pink. So I picked up an open ring with a pink closed ring on it. This is what it should look like, because this is the last ring we just added, so it just kind of hangs there. Okay, we're going up through that ring, and then we're going around the eye that's formed by the violet and the light purple, and we're going through the eye formed by the violet and dark purple. So up and around, through that eye and making sure that it is above the gray from the previous step, and close the ring. And that's what it should look like. And that is Half Persian 4-in-1. So let's do a few more. I'm going to do one more series of this. So I've grabbed an open ring with a dark purple ring. I'm going around the eye formed by the pink and light purple, and through the eye formed by the light purple and violet. So if I show it to you this way, they sort of bend in on themselves, but and then close the ring. And it will look like this. All right, now I'm going to take a closed violet ring and add that. So it goes up through the last dark purple ring, around the eye formed by dark purple and pink, and through the eye formed by pink and light purple. And then close. Okay, now we need to add a light purple ring. And you can tell which end you're working on, or which side you should have facing you, because you will have this hanging ring. So up, around, and through. And then we have a pink ring, up, around, and through. So as long as you keep in mind you need to have a round eye connection and a through eye connection, you'll be fine. All right, so let's pretend that we've gone through however many rings we need and the piece is the length that we want it. So I'm going to take off the wire, and you'll see that at both ends you have a hanging ring. So for the one on the end that we've been working from, I just take an open ring and do the exact same thing we've been doing. It just doesn't have a closed ring on it. So I'm just going to go up, around, and through, and close the ring. And you can see that it looks complete. On this side, you can do one of two things. The easiest thing to do is just remove the ring. Just open this gray ring, or open the ring that you want to remove and just take it off. That's completely fine. The other thing you can do, and this is a little tricky sometimes, is you can do the same motion as adding rings. It would just go underneath this gray ring instead of over it. And it can just be a little tricky because getting it under it sometimes wants to cross it. So usually I just take the ring off, but you can do it this way too. So now we have a finished piece of Half Persian 4-in-1, and you again can see the cross pattern, or the X pattern on that side, oops, and this side. So again, fairly easy weave once you get it started. If you want to keep a piece as a starter piece. Lots of people do that, and then they just add rings to it as needed. If you want to add a clasp to it, I would, because this last ring flips around, I wouldn't add a clasp there. I would take a smaller ring, and I just don't have one here with me right now. I would take a smaller ring and maybe put it through these last 3 rings and just attach it there. If you have any questions about Half Persian 4-in-1 or need help with it, you can email us at projecthelp@TheRingLord.com. If you have product questions or need help with your order, please email customer service at orders@TheRingLord.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get all our new content. I hope you have a great day.